Do you support defunding the police department in Minneapolis?
I'm not a municipal leader, so I'm not going to opine on that. What I can tell you, though, is that what I hear people saying is that, yes, we want public safety. We want security. We want people to investigate sexual assault cases. We want people to be protected from domestic violence. Those things are not going to miraculously stop. But what we also want is a reconception of how we achieve public safety. I mean, right now, basically, we have a paramilitary model where the department calls each other military-style titles, captain, lieutenant, all that kind of stuff. We send out people with guns, and they are there to use deadly force no matter what the problem may be. If the problem is sexual assault, we send somebody with a gun. If the problem is domestic violence, we send somebody with a gun. If the problem is somebody in a mental health crisis, we send somebody with a gun. And I think that what we need to do as a society, as a city, is to say, is there a better way to have people be safe and secure, to investigate crime, and to hold people accountable? Is there a better way to conceive of this? Because let me tell you, so many of when President Obama had 21st century policing, it was groundbreaking. They had a lot of great reforms. Why did he call it 21st century? Because so much of our policing is rooted in the 20th century or even the 19th century. We haven't really updated what we do in terms of training, in terms of preparation, in terms of various problems. And so much of safety and security involves mental health professionals, involves, recreation for youth. It involves a lot of things. And just having a paramilitary group where we send somebody with a gun to solve every problem might not be the only way or the best way to have a safe community. That is what I hear those people calling for, not that we're not going to have a system of safety and security.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense when you're able to lay out the nuance of that. I guess my question is, do you think that the slogan is potentially off-putting to people in a way that hurts the cause? The slogan, defund the police, is it a slogan you would use?
Look, young people in the street marching, calling for change, they call stuff what they call stuff. I think that it is important to come forward and help people understand it. You may recall, Casey, when the term Black Lives Matter first was used, a lot of people said, well, all lives matter, and they thought that was some good thing to say. Well, what really they were saying is, no, wait a minute, don't act like our particular historical oppression is some universal thing. No, it is actually particular and unique to the African-American community, which started as captives back in 1619 and has been dealing with segregation, racism, and discrimination ever since that time. Don't drown our struggle by saying everything is just everything. It's not. It's particular and calls for certain responses. And so that term needed to be described. This one may need to have some explanation as well, but I'm sure that the organizers are already pinning op-eds and everything else to help people understand what they mean.
It's a good point. I mean, it has changed dramatically even since, when Hillary Clinton was running for president, and to your point about how the use of the term Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter expanded. Let me wrap up here by just asking you about what the next steps here are in the case itself as you turn to prosecuting Derek Chauvin. I've heard you say, and others, analysts look at this and say, hey, it is tough to prosecute police officers in these types of cases. How confident are you that you will be able to bring justice in this case?
I'm very confident because the facts meet the law. I'm very confident that there is ample evidence to support the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. But it's not as simple as that. We have to work very hard. We have to have every single link in the prosecutorial chain must be tight, and we need to prepare, and we are doing that. We're utilizing the resources of our office, Hennepin County attorneys. Even we've been in consultation with the U.S. Attorney's Office. We believe that our combined efforts is going to bring forth justice, but we understand the daunting task ahead of us because we remember Freddie Gray, Philando Castile, Rodney King, and a whole host of other cases where justice was not served, even though the facts seem so clear.
Team, subscribe for more of these type of videos.